Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Joe. Get yourself sat down, get yourself a hot drink, chill out a little bit. We're going to be playing Conquest of Elysium 5. Game I've sunk quite a lot of hours into. Strategy game that looks like it's from about 20 to 30 years ago with its pixel graphics. There's a surprising depth to the strategy found within it. Let's get started. No mods, just starting a new game. When you go for a normal map size, there's a lot of options. You can see it looks like it's from a computer that's about as long as it is wide, but that is a-okay. So we're going medium, going random. Society kind of defines how the map is built. So certain ones will have more forests, certain ones will have more towns, and so on, so forth. We're going to keep it random so that I do not know what to expect. Down here we've got advanced options. When we enable score graphs, gives us a little bit more information if we so desire, and battle reports is very useful so we can actually watch battles more than once, otherwise the game is a little bit weird. Now, on a normal map, which we are playing on, 4 players is just about enough. However, the AI likes to die in the first couple of turns, so we're going to put 5 on in total. That way, if an AI or 2 gets rid of themselves, we'll still have some left to fight. Jester is the base difficulty. I'm going to click a couple of buttons and put them up to night. What this will do is give them 50% more resources. You know, in games with resources, that's a lot. And whenever they buy troops, they get 50% more troops. And in any game where you have troops, that's a lot. However, the AI is quite bad at working with this stuff, so we give them a lot of extra bonuses and it makes it fairly even. I found night is fairly balanced. Anything below is almost too easy, anything beyond is a bit painful. We've got loads of options of characters. I'm going to start at the top of the list. I'm going to start at the very top of the list and have our Baron. He's just a regular human dude leading a regular medieval empire to greatness. Very limited magic. If anyone wants to read this, please do pause and do it. There's a lot of lore that I very much liked, but the main things are the abilities at the bottom. Get a fortified castle, blah blah. More gold, more iron, amazing. More resources. Conscription I'll talk about in more detail, but this is great. Raise levies is a bit rubbish. It's not very useful. It has its uses, but against AI with bonus resources, not very much. And the last thing isn't that important. We get extra gold and iron, and conscription's amazing. However, we don't really get any mages. Now I have to decide what I'm going to call our Baron. And I'm very inventive. And I think I'm probably going to call him Barry the Baroon, and just pretend he's on like a horse, like a dragoon or something like that. We can give him a magic item at some point that makes him fast and fly and stuff like that. So, start of every turn, we will be told what's happened. The first turn, nothing's happened. I haven't done anything yet. Every turn we get a chance to recruit commanders or mercenary bands. Certain things like this. This is a chance of me buying a High Lord. I'm not going to be able to afford that. Ooh, this looks like an interesting start. We've got coastline, we've got some roaming things. Okie doke, okie doke. So, Vago view, very top left, we've got our gold income. I'm getting 8 a turn. Got our iron income. I'm getting none a turn. And the trade, I've got no trade. Fairly simple on that front. Up our top right, we have all of our random things that we can do stuff, but I'm just going to be doing things. You don't need to know exactly what button I'm clicking when. What we have is our castle where we have all of our troops. We have Barry the Baroon. We have Edbert, who is a High Lord, so a secondary commander for us. So we can have multiple. We can send out multiple parties. Troops must be led by commanders. And unfortunately, if I go into recruitment, we have quite a lot of options. And that the High Lord we were offered, I can't afford at all. He's a lot of gold and a lot of iron. Most things cost about 50 gold, so until we have that, we can't really do anything. Now I'm going to go into the menu that lets me give troops to my commanders. This deep red behind the horsemen with black shields means Edbert is controlling them. These guys are cavalrymen, they're fast, so they get extra movement on the map, just like our High Lord does, so they can keep up with him. Now, movement on the map, how does that work? You'll see as our commanders have pips, or action points. I just call them pips, because that's what they look like. Sue me. This is how many tiles they can move. Certain terrain is more difficult, so if I were to hover over any of these house ruins or plains, I get details about it in the bottom middle of my screen. There's nothing there, which means these are just 1 pip movement tiles. If I go to this forest where there are conveniently 2 deer, there's 2 movement points. Moving into this forest will cost 2 pips. Done. That's as simple and as straightforward as it is. The amount of boots there is the amount of pips it will cost. You can go into debt for next turn. So if I moved into a tile requiring 3 pips, but I only had 1, the next turn, 2 pips will come off my total. Easy. So these guys are quite fast, so we want to send them quite far away. We need to deal with some of these independents. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys in the water are going to be happy sitting on their pearls, so I don't need to worry about them. This graveyard, we can see there's a symbol there. It is a monster lair. This will spawn stuff if I don't kill it and take control of it. Same with the ancient forest. So these 2 are important, but the things on it most likely will not roam anywhere. So if they're not roaming anywhere, it's not a great priority for me to kill them. Unless they spawn more things, and then it becomes a priority. These 3, however, the deer, the giant ant queen, and the bandits, are just going to wander around, and the independents, the grey colouring, will move a tile a turn. So they can't attack my castle, but in theory, in 2 turns, the deer could. They could take my resources. Where the red squares are, that means I own it. So my hamlet's giving me 2 gold, and each farm is giving me 1. The castle's giving me 2. And you might say, but that doesn't add up to 8 in my total. 2, 4, 5, 6. Where's the 8 coming from? Remember our plus 25% bonus, that applies to everything all the time. So what I'm going to do, Barry the Baroon, I'm going to give him all of our spearmen and longbowmen. Spearmen are rubbish, but they will hold the line to allow our longbowmen, who are excellent range troops, they have extra range over normal archers and extra damage, to rain a barrage of arrows onto enemies. That is this guy's job. Survive so that this longbowman can deal damage. I'm going to get rid of the graveyard with these guys, because I don't like that it's next to us. A fight ensues. So I can see this is what I'm fighting. It's only 1 thing. It's a ghoul, has 10 health. Average human is between 6 and 8. So it's a little bit tanky, but it doesn't do much damage. So this 1 to 4 means when it attacks in this game auto hit, roll a 4-sided dice. That's simple. And does that much damage. Okay. Edbert. We actually have to move him too. I want to get rid of the deer, but the giant ant queen can do something that others can't. I've just moved here just so I can see a bit extra before I move into the forest. Using up all your movement is quite important to see more things, so I have more information for next turn now. So I'll fight the giant ant queen. If this unit finds an empty tile, it can create an ant hive. If it creates an ant hive, that is a permanent structure that will spawn enemies forever. So I'm killing it now before it can spread. What we have found is a giant spider, so another thing that will roam around, we'll have to deal with that. He's not too bad, sorry if you don't like spiders. He's quite tanky. He has an armor point, so if I were to deal 3 damage to him, the armor would knock off 1, he'd only take 2 damage. Armor's very simple. It's just subtractive. And in an ancient temple, there is a priest with a snake staff and 2 giant scorpions. That's easy to take, and give us a temple. Temple is a very special type of building, and it will increase the chance of us getting certain recruitment offers. Because we can recruit monks as the Baron, but depending on probability, I think it's probably about 2% turn, that's how often we get offered one. If we had a temple, it might be 4% turn, which is a whole lot more. Now I've moved all my commanders, so I'm going to end my turn. That's me done, everything thinks. These are our messages. We get our battle reports. Graveyards, there was only one thing, and it got shot to pieces. Now, some of you might be wondering, alright, that longbowman did 6 damage, 3 damage, 10 damage, and it died. But you just said they roll a 1d4. Well, yes, they do roll a 1d4. But if they hit that 4, they get to roll again. And if they hit the 4 again, they get to roll again. Same thing would happen if they attack with a dagger. If they rolled a 3, they'd get to roll again, and again, and again. Barry the Baroon has a 1 to 12 weapon. Now this plus 3 is because he's really strong. What this does not mean is he rolls a 1d12, 12-sided dice, and adds 3. Nope, this game is weird and it's annoying. What this means is he rolls a 1 through 15, 12 plus 3. So he rolls a 15-sided dice when he attacks. And if he hits a 15, he rolls again. So it means any small person can deal technically infinite damage. You just have to defy the odds. We can have a look at our reports. Longbowman killed 1, 1 ghoul died. And our forest taking out the giant ant queen, she does beam. Okay, we took a fair bit of damage back, but no one has any injuries. I'll explain injuries when we see them happen. These units are quite good. I was quite confident sending them into the giant ant queen, so they have these lance charges. It's only a once per battle, but it's a 1 through 10 from each of these guys, and a 1 through 12 from the High Lord, because he's just stronger, you know. So that is a lot of potential damage on turn 1, and then they switch to broadswords, which still aren't shabby. 1 through 7 from the cavalryman, and 2 1 through 6s from the High Lord. So it's not too shabby at all. Now, let's see where things have moved. So we've taken the graveyard, and now that we own it, it's a monster layer not producing monsters. So it now won't produce undead to bother me. Okay, so we have 9 deer here. That's a pushover. Either army could deal with it. 1 giant spider. Either army could deal with it. 2 deer. Either army could deal with it. This monster snail is actually quite scary. We're probably going to ignore that for a little bit so we can build up a couple more forces. So I'm going to see if a certain mechanic works when I do this. No, it does not. There's a certain mechanic of overrunning troops. If you outnumber them that greatly, you don't even have to fight them. They just give up and flee, and you don't have to wait until next turn to command your troops again. We're going to let these deer roam. I'm going to get rid of the giant spider. Just take control of my general area. That's the plan. Probably fight my way over that bridge, because bridges give us money as well, because nice tolls. Like a little troll. Deck 2 battles. Autumn's here, seasons pass, each season is 3 turns, winter's the worst, we'll see why. We've also got a recruitment offer of a small band of mercenaries, 10 swordsmen for 70 gold. And as I said, most things cost 50 gold for about 5, so this is a good offer, but we don't have the money for it. 2 deer, charged, dead, done. Dead forest, we should be able to shoot this guy up, so we've done, what? 5, 2, 4, so 11 points of damage. We've done about half his health in the first volley. Second volley, he's dead. So these spearmen, if the archers, the longbowmen, sorry, take great offence to being called archers, don't kill the enemy, these guys just buy time. They've got health, they've got shields. Shields have a chance of reducing damage, and a slightly better chance against ranged weapons. Okay, what have we got? We've got a moose. We've got a moose. I don't know why I call it that. We've got a moose. These things are a bit scary. They have 32 health again. They've got no armour, unlike the spider, but they do trample. So if they come into contact with something smaller, these guys are a 2x2 square, they will stand on us and try to get rid of us. We don't really like that, So we would like to shoot it up. So I think Barry the Baroon's army is better suited to that. And we're going to ignore the temple for now because I want money. So I'm going to go attack the bridge, take this coastal hamlet. Hopefully this is a dead end and I can turn around and ignore it. So this likely isn't going to get taken from anything. Nearly got enough money to buy something, which is good. We've been offered loads of archers, which is interesting. Oh, I do like the bridge fights. You have to funnel across. It's quite satisfying. Okay, we took a bit more damage from people. 9 out of 10, 12 out of 13, 9 out of 10. But they're fine. They didn't take any injuries. Okay, the moose is fast. It moves 2 tiles a turn, just like our cavalry. So, it will be into our lines next turn. So we hope our longbowmen do enough damage. We've done a lot in one turn. We did 26 points of damage. We actually caused a debilitating wound. So it's lost half its strength. Wounds occur when you take a certain amount of damage. So say here on it, the first arrow, it took 6 points of damage and got a wound. The chance of it happening is 6 divided by 32. So just under a fifth, so maybe 18%. Let's round that to 20% to make it make a bit more sense. So it depends on your max health. So if you had 100 max health and you took 10 damage, that's a 10% chance to get a wound. Done. So if you take a big hit from something and survive, you're often left with a wound, which to me makes quite a lot of sense. Take our coastal hamlet. We've got our dead end. Bring our guys back. Send these guys down further south. Hills is another 2 movement tile, and mountains are a 3 movement tile. Barry the Baroon, you can take the ancient temple. If that's all it is, that'll be easy enough, and we'll get a little magic item that will help us out. Explain what it does when we get it. Now, we have 50 gold, so we want to buy some stuff. We can see on the right hand side there's a lot of stuff that costs iron, so we can't even consider any of those. I would actually love 10 archers for 70 gold. That's very worth it. But we don't quite have 70. They're going to leave as soon as I click end turn. 5 war dogs for 25. Free health. A little bite. Nah, they're not worth it. They're not worth it. So my 2 other options are spearmen or longbowmen to add more of the same troops that we have. And now my automatic response is always longbowmen. 1, because you've seen how effective the arrows have been in taking out that moose nearly before it got to the line. And when spring comes back around, you'll see why even more. But I'm probably going to almost always buy longbowmen here, unless I have loads of iron. Okay, everyone's moved. That is our turn. Okay, let's have a look at the fight. And yes, there were some very nice messages there. Stabbed. Everyone's been taken out. Barry the Baroon has found a magic item, Cloak of Displacement, and a Bloodstone Amulet. So we got the snake staff from the guy. So what this will allow us to do, gives us a slightly different weapon, which I'm debating whether I want on him. But it also summons a snake at the start of the battle, which is quite useful. Cloak of Displacement gives us the displaced ability. Makes us appear like that we're at a slightly different location than what we are. So troops that are very far away from us don't really know our location. So it protects us from arrows a lot and slightly from melee attacks. Basically, it gives us a decent dodge chance. The Bloodstone Amulet, 5% regeneration a turn. Don't need to explain what that does. Gets me 5% of my health back, which unfortunately for him will only be 1 a turn, but 1 a turn is still more than none a turn. Snake Staff, I don't want him to have it. His sword's really good. Giving it to an archer. Done. Ooh, do I want to give it to an archer? No. I want to give it to the front spearman. So this spearman now doesn't have a spear. So instead of 1 through 4, he's doing 1 through 3. But when he hits, he will deal a lot of poison damage. So 1 through 25, which ignores armor. And poison is just damage that's done over time. If you've ever played a game, I shouldn't have had to explain that. There we go. And he'll summon a snake at the front, which will hopefully take a few hits instead of my humans. Okay, Edbert's found a little roaming army. We can't beat that. So these Daibakemono are kind of equivalent to our cavalry, and they have chaff around it. So they have 5 equivalents. We have 6 of these. They have chaff to... What do I mean by chaff? What I mean by chaff is they're just small units meant to eat and attack. Because if I use a lance charge on one of these things, it's not worth me putting a 1 through 10 dice roll into killing a 3 health unit that can only deal 2 damage a turn, probably. I want them going into this. But I'll probably waste some lance charges. These will all stay alive, and they're all going to target me back because I've got no chaff around me. So I lose that. So if they attack me, I'm not going to be happy. Okay, more forest. Not ideal, but we can get rid of these deer. We are going to go into some movement debt because I moved 2 pips and 2 pips, which is 4. I only had 3, so next turn we'll only have 2 to move. We'll probably start moving north, see if I can find more settlement, get me some more money. Doke. I attacked in a forest. There's my snake. Ooh, so the deer flanked my spearman. Aha, my longbowman has lost an eye. Come on, man. Misses with 10% of all attacks. That sucks. So, everything in this game isn't auto-hit until you have certain afflictions, such as that. Lost a spearman at the top, which is a shame. We now only have 5. Ooh, they attacked us. I don't think we win this. Because as you can see, if we were to move our row towards the left, our cavalry, this cavalryman would be here. We'd have one here. High Lord, cavalry, cavalry. And that's actually a bush. So that's going to disrupt their line. So I don't know what's going to happen there. What I can hope is all of our lance charges go into the Daibakemono. Because they have 11 health, which is similar to our cavalry. We have 2 armor. They have 2 armor. But once our lance charges are done, we only have a 1 through 7 broadsword. They have a 1 through 11 greatsword, which is 1, just more damage, so you can understand that that's better. But it also does sweep. So if this unit kills this guy, the remaining damage will then hit this dude. If they're still adjacent. Yeah, I'm worried about this. Go to normal speed. So apparently the bush did not hamper them. So now that we're in contact, what I'm worried about is this guy lance charging the small guy. And this guy has a very good chance of lance charging either of these. And this guy even has a chance of lance charging that guy. So I've only got 3 cavalrymen that I know with 100% clarity are going to lance charge the Daibakemono. And those are the troops I need to get rid of. Okay. Yeah, so this Bakemono show got hit with lance charge and actually survived. That's embarrassing. Okay, you ate a lance charge. If I right click on a unit, it tells me everything that's happened to them. You ate a lance charge. You didn't eat a lance charge. You ate 2 lance charges. And you ate a lance charge. So, that's not done much. The biggest one only did 5. That's not good. So currently, we've done all of our attacks. They've only done 1. And they've already done nearly half as much damage as we did to them. That guy just got 1 shot. Okay. Turn 1. We're losing. And now these chaff can come around the sides. So this guy now has 4 targets. The more targets you have, the more chance you have to not focus your damage. So I'd really want him to hit either of these 2. But that's only a coin flip now. I want him to hit those 2 because this guy next to him can hit those 2. Okay, we'll just have to see. We've lost another dude. We did kill a Bakemono show, but I don't care. Because they have such a low chance of getting through our armor. Okay. We've killed 1 Daibakemono, but we've lost 2 cavalrymen. Nah. That's really annoying. Okay, that's a really expensive fighting force we've just lost there. So we have only got Barry the Baroon. Probably worth talking about win and loss conditions. If you lose all your commanders, you lose. If you lose all the places you recruit from, which is currently only the Baron's Castle, you lose. So, if we lose Barry, we're done. That's fine. I think we've got this. We just have to be careful with what fights we take. Oh yeah, it's winter now, by the way. So everything's snowy. So everything costs 1 extra movement, which is why we hate winter. Okay, let's get rid of these ghouls. I don't like them being there. I don't like that we have so many ruins around us. Okay, well, there's much quicker turns now, at least. There we go. Easy. House ruins. Could be something there. Unlikely. I'm probably going to carry on northeast. Been offered another High Lord, but I can't afford him. I'm going to step this way, out of the snow. Step into the hills. Okay, well, at least I found more plains to explore. That's a good thing. Found pyramids, which don't give us anything and have a chance of being absolutely terrible. Guess I'll explain that if it comes to it. And buy some more longbowmen. Got 8 longbowmen here. Spring, like I promised, we should... It varies a little bit, apparently. We should next turn get our conscription. Okay, so we are on the society of everything is bad. The capital has been taken over by spirits of, well, bad things. There's the Haunted Temple District, defended by 2 whites, which I think we can defeat, because they're not going to use... they're not going to use the walls, so I should just be able to shoot them. We only have 1 armor. Yeah, we should be able to win that. Okay. Loads of good things. Right, shoot him, kill him. There we go. 1 dead. Now he's only got a snake. He missed. Perfect. Okay, we got a witch wand. Summer's here, and we got conscription. So this has finally happened. This is much less than I wanted. So for free, we got 2 knights and 4 spearmen. Conscription depends on how many settlements you have. So the farm, hamlet, and hamlet. Each farm gives me 1 spearman, I believe. Or no, each farm gives me 2 spearmen, and each hamlet is giving me 1 knight. So that's where these guys have come from. So I've got another good force to move out. I'd love to combine it with my baron, but that would mean taking 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turn, 5 turns to get back. So I'd rather buy commander to move them out here. Now I want to get rid of... this might be game over. Don't have a scout. So there's some units that are ambushing me. Hopefully, I don't lose. Gore Tide Horror. That sounds bad. That's never good. But we do have the Witch Wand, which allows us to do Curse the Frog Prince. So we might be able to turn him into a frog. Our spearmen are fleeing. The deepened red is they're running away. Okay, it keeps resisting the magic. Assuming the only way we win this is by turning him into a frog at some point. But it has decent magic resist. He's made me blind. Okay. Do we win this? He can't even hit with the rod half the time. What is going on? Is it running away? Is it afraid of me? Or is it it's chasing the longbowman? We managed to run away, and we're not dead. Barry the Baroon is blind. However, we can fix that because he has regen, so he should recover. His eyes should be fixed. This guy's diseased, so he's going to die. This guy's diseased, so he's going to die. This guy's diseased, so he's going to die. Oh my god. Okay. But they each have really good magic items. So we want to get them home. Okay, we leave. We leave, and we try get them home as quick as possible. Because I don't want to lose these magic items. I want to get them to people. Because if we have magic, that's really good, funnily enough. Okay. So disease has a coin flip chance of... I think it's a coin flip chance of taking 1 damage. Whew. Okay. Can't buy that High Lord we've been offered. Even if we had the money, we don't have the iron. So... we have just been offered a captain. This is perfect timing. We can march him out to meet the Baron. Give all the troops to the Baron. He's recovered from his wound. These guys are diseased anyway. That can't be fixed. So Baron's going to keep the Bloodstone. Keep the Cloak of Displacement. Give the Witch Wand. Snake Staff. Staff of Night. And second Witch Wand to some Spearmen in the front line. Casper is going to take away the diseased troops. Take them back home. Barry the Baroon is going to hopefully go and take the Capitolium again. We want to take this because we can't actually recruit anything, but we want to stop bad things from spawning here, and it's a decent bit of money. That's an ordeal. I know, we are going to have Staff and Knight at the front because it summons a direwolf, which we want to be summoned. Okay. Stressed me out a bit too much. So we have been offered a monk because we have now 2 temples and a singular wolf has walked into my haunted trade district. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. I am going to quickly take out the monster snail. I believe it will be quite easy. It's very low magic resist, and we have 2 people with witch wands trying to turn people into frogs. So, we're going to turn this big snail into a frog, please. Oh, we've been poisoned. There we go. He's a frog. He has unfortunately killed my snake. So we've finally actually been offered a mage. We've been offered our court mage. He's a very basic wizard that I cannot afford, so I can't show you anything. Not in detail, anyway. Just a dude with 5 hit points, and he has access to level 1 magic. We will see this. We now have the Ancient Forest. Means random things will stop. Random things will stop spawning, is what I was saying. And then I noticed the Daibakemono that killed my cavalryman. Can I beat it? I've got archers, which will deal with the chaff, and then I can focus on the main guys. I've got spells. I have to. It's revenge. This will be the last fight of the episode. We'll end it for today. I think we're doing alright, apart from, you know, losing half the stuff. But, let's have a look. Okay, we've got Direwolf. Direwolf is really good. He has this ability called Horrible Howl. It does a cone of fear. So if you fail fear, there's 2 different levels of it. You're panicked, which will mean you miss 1 in 5 attacks. Or you're afraid, you're literally running for your life. Depending on how badly you fail the fear checks, you can go straight to the second one. If you only failed it slightly, you just get panicked, and it's easier to then run away the second time. So let's see how that goes. Dark Cloud for my Staff of Night, dealing some good damage. Archers taking out the chaff on the flanks, as I thought they would. Snake and Cavalry are now... Oh, Cavalry's not in. Okay, so it's only Direwolf, so it's only really my summons that are fighting, which I'm okay with. Okay, turn something into a frog. Turn something else into a frog. Feeble-minded frog, let's go. Daibakemono just dealing damage to the summon, and he's a frog. Love these wands. These wands are going to be great for us. And one thing I am going to leave you with at the end of this episode is this ancient forest was more valuable than just wanting to practice the wands. It will give me a special unit in my conscription, which we'll see in about 5-6 turns at most. Well, thank you for watching. I haven't really expanded my borders that much. I'm quite disappointed with the money we're making, because we're going to need to make a lot of money to take out the AI, especially with the Baron. But there are ways of doing such things. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Stay relaxed, and always think outside the box. Have a good day.